Malaysia, and I'll be taking the role of moderator for this session today. And I'm glad to welcome all our respective panels, the presenters, and also the audiences. So on behalf of the organizer, the Program of Architecture, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, I would like to extend my warm welcome to the International Design Colloquium 2022. So for your information, this is a collaboration event between the Program of Architecture, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, and also School of Architecture and Design, Walailak University, Thailand. And together with us today, we have three panels from Walailak University, Associate Professor Dr. Kitchai Jitkhajornwanich, Dean of School of Architecture and Design, Ms. Sasipim Isarawatana, and Madam Ajarn Prphatson Saemmongkhon. And we also have three panels from the Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UTM, Architect Norshahida Azili, Dr. Tengku Intan Suraya, Tengku Aziz, and also Dr. Azalilah Ramdani Musa. And together with us, we have six presenters, which is three from the UTM, Mr. Chow Zen Nam, Mr. Amirul Haziq Abdul Aziz, Mr. Ismail Wajdi Muhammad Rokibi. And the other three presenters from Walailak University, Ms. Atira Mauti, Ms. Supapit Hirantani, and Ms. Norun Yana Pitakjit. Please be informed that we are going to start with three presentations from Walailak University first. The time allocated for each presenter is about 15 minutes. I will let you know when the time is up, followed by 20 minutes question and answer session with all panels from UTM. And then we will continue with another three presentations by presenters from UTM, followed by the question and answer session with all panels from Walailak University. Okay, and for all the audiences, the attendance link will be attached in the chat box near to the end of the session. So the chat box is on your right hand side of your computer screen, and please fill in the link for us to send you the e-certificate later. Before we proceed with the presentation, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Alice Sabrina Ismail, the Director of Architecture Program UTM, to give her welcoming remarks. So the room is yours, Dr. Alice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moderator Dr. Isura. Firstly, I would like to bid welcome. Good morning, Sawadee to all of the lecturers from Walailak University. Prof. Kitchai, thank you so much for accepting our invitation this morning to do this Design Colloquium International between Walailak University School of Architecture and also UTM School of Architecture. To Madam Sasipim and also Madam Prphatson, thank you so much also for accepting our invitation to become the panels for today's event. So I would like to say this is actually the first collaboration that we have in terms of academic between Walailak and also UTM Architecture School. So I hope that this first collaboration will not be the last, but it will be the starting and the kickoff point for many collaborations in the future between both schools. So perhaps after this, we can have a very good discussion, and also in terms of doing many more research and also academic collaborations like student exchange program, staff exchange program, and also we would like to have the students from Walailak University to come and also join our semester 3 program here that we have in terms of the outreach and also outbound student for this coming October 2022. So I hope we can have a very good and fruitful discussion with Walailak University after this, especially after the signing of the MOU between both institutions. So for today's event, I wish everyone the very best of luck. Good luck to all of the student presenters from UTM and also from Walailak University. May all you do your best in your future undertakings and your studies. And I hope that today's event will be a fruitful discussion for all, for the benefit for all of us, especially in the architecture education system. So with that, thank you so much on my part as the director of UTM Architecture School. So I wish you all the very best, and I pass it back the floor to Dr. Isura, the moderator. Thank you again and have a good day ahead.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Alice, for the welcoming remarks. So I think without further ado, I shall welcome our first presenter from Walailak University, Ms. Atira Mauti, about her resort project, Rising Sun Beach Resort. The room is yours, Ms. Atira. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. It's been a little bit nervous here First of all, I need to introduce myself. My name is Atira Moti, or you can call me IU, but by the way, you can just call me Atira. And I'm now studying architecture and design for my degree, bachelor degree. And yeah, I'm 4 year student now. As you know, we have 5 years here. And as just Mr. Kitchai just mentioned right now, I have experiences. I have been studying in Malaysia for my entire life, high school there. So don't waste your time. Let's talk about my project. Okay. Sawadika and Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. So let's start presenting my project. Here is my Rising Sun Beach Resort. I got this project when I was in last year within my third year time. I got this project. Have all of students was assigned to design some kind of resort. So here is our site. Actually, this site is a green area, and this site is in Sichuan, which is a near with the beach in Nakhon Si Thammarat. Nakhon Si Thammarat is a province that is about in south of Thai, but it's not the southern like you know as three provinces like Yala, Narathiwat, Pattani, but it's above a bit. Okay, so here is the site, so we can see yeah, all dimensions here is our site location, and we can see obviously is very near with the beach, and the site is also is passing through with three intersection dividing to famous tourist spot and resort. As you know, in Sichuan they have many tourist spot or many many places that tourists will come to see the nature or whatever they go to some travel trip. So the land is a passageway of land and winds and sea breezes, and must shorten the line of the building to be at least 12 meters from the public water source area. That means here is our law in Thailand. If our site is near with the beach or any water source, we need to offset to the site about 12 meters. And here is about overview about my site, our site. And before we do this design, first of all, we need to find out the case study. So I picked this one. Here is Sanders Cancun in Mexico. I choose it because I see with the swimming pool, they have a slope that to reduce the ground slope and increase the number of swimming pool that can add atmosphere to look more attractive. As you know, our site is have a very high slope, or we can say that it is very Charun. How we can manage to make it become more safety and decrease all the risk that will be make our site become more problem. So I got these cases, and I think this can solve my problems. And here the style I decided to design my resort as local luxury style, which is the combination of luxury and local style that will give the feeling of comfortable and accessible, relaxed, and glamour. That means all status of people can come here. It doesn't mean my resort just allow for those who are rich people only, but I will make everyone feel comfortable to come with it. And here is about my case study for looking forward in my style in this resort. And here is about my overviews about my resort design. And here is the concept. My concept is for make it become stepping scene. So we can see we have first of all, I have a huge mess. Sorry, we have a very huge mess, and I want to decrease the mess and make it becoming a step. So if we make the building or our site or our project is become a step, so we can see as we know, the advantage of our site is near with the beach, so we can see sunrise very clear, and obviously that's very beautiful view for our people coming in. So I take the advantage from that, so we can see that is step seeing, That means that will make all of tourists or people come here with everyone, make sure that everyone can see the sunrise. And here is the user in our project. Basically, we have lots of users. For example, we have, beside of just people who come to stay here in our resort, we have officers, like we have a manager, assistant, we have staff, we have customer that is maybe they are a traveler or they are foreigner worker or influencer. Here is an overview about our user analysis. So we can see the result is very large mass. So we need to manage to can accept many kinds of people here. And here first, before designing, we have to do a bubble diagram. So I decided declare with these colors, these different colors, and divided into public, semi-public, semi-private, private, and service, for make sure where else kind of people we can accept with the limited of people where they can just access our place. Like if you come with public, that means everybody can access here. But by the way, if we talk about service, that means just staff can accept it. So I started with the lobby or lounge, and then we divided into waiting area. Oh, sorry, error mistake typing. And for my concept is I will make a center swimming pool is the spot that will make the most divided. Like from the swimming pool, you can go to the kid clubs, you can go to the dining hall, the garden court before go to your rooms or the fitness and spa massage. And beside that, we will provide the services or you can see the private place, like the WC, the private room, the locker room. And here is about the overview that I decided from the bubble diagram. We change into the obvious mass. You can see from the lobby, then you can, from the swimming pool here, you can divide it to any places that you want to go. And here is the overview. We can see the lobby and lounge here, and we also have a library and office for the staff, and we also have a first aid or like bilik rawatan there for make that very easy for people to access with, or for the staff, like manager, they don't to walk so far to go to another places, just park in here and then go there. And here is the parking lots for the customer or the users here. And before that, we do the same plate. We have the same place, the same site. We already have a resort design. So the previous project is here. So we have to do combination at the first place. We have to manage the resort and the restaurant here. So it's not a problem. And here is our view. We can see in this side is just about the room that we have 3 types of room. There is a villa or deluxe or the standard. And in this side, we have a dining hall, the banquet or the staff zone is here. And here is for the drafting. You can see the people, when people need to come here, they have 2 parking lots, which is they need to go in this circle and make a drop off here, and they can go park in behind that. You have a parking lot here, and for the manager or those who come by bus, they can just park here. For make it very easy for them to access with. And for those who just parking here, they just can go with this stair and go to check in here in the lobby, and then before they go to their own rooms. And here's all the elevations first, and we can see here is the slope that I mentioned just now. Our side have a very high slope, so here this overview that I will make sure that everyone is not hiding each other. So that's why I make the step. We can see the building is kind of stepping. That means they're not hiding each other, and each other will see, and every of them, wherever they are in this resort, they will see the beach and the sunrise, the view. That is the very interesting view that we have here. And here is all the elevation, and this is our most beautiful views through the beach. Okay, and this is the perspective overview here. This is about my resort. And here is the night view that we will put the light off to make that become more like cozy. And here is the section. I do make a section to see with like the swimming pool that I just make based on the study that I take from the standards Cancun, that they make a step up the swimming pool. And here we have a 3 swimming pool, and they have a different stage and different level. And here is all the resort room type, which is there are 3 resort room type, and all of them have a different level too, for make sure that's not hiding each other. And here is from the parking lot. We can see here is the parking lot is lower from the building, but it's okay. We have a stair to go there. And also, if you are doing resort room, the most important thing that we can't miss is about the generator rooms. Like we have the generator room for pumping, for sanitary, for our tank safety. So here is all about the generator room. Each building will have their own generator room. Some is underground and some is the first floor, and we just need to cover it for make it not obvious to ruin our seaside. And here is the details about our standard room. That's I like mentioned just now. We have 17 standard rooms. So here is the type. Is about 37.40 meters square. It's just standard room, and we have like all the furniture. Like we have a single bed, twin beds, and we have a shower, the simple kind. And the most important thing is we have all of each room will have their own balcony here. And here is all of the rooms. Is about 20 rooms, 10 at first floor and 10 at second floor. And here is all the room types. So we have many room type for make our customer can choose where else they want to go. And here is the section. We can see that I said just now we have a generator room here underground there, for didn't ruin our view. And here is the room. We can see the first floor is something like the building is the math is step inside, but the second floor is a little bit step forward to make it like a roof for the first floor. So here's the overview. We have their own swimming pool here. So for the people who at the first floor, if they want to go to swim, they just go and swim here. And for those who are second floor, they didn't have their own swimming pool, and they can access with the public swimming pool at the center, and plus they have the very clear view comparing the people who is the first floor. And here is the view. So we're just designing with a very minimal decoration for make sure that everyone is focusing on the sunrise, and make it very simple. I just use a very plain color and make it like with a wood and the concrete. And here the access entrance in this building for the standard room. You can see they have elevator for go to the upstairs, or we can go with the stair. And let's go to the deluxe room. And here deluxe room, we just have 2 rooms. And the deluxe room is more advanced, a little bit advanced comparing with standard room, which is we have our own living room here and our private swimming pool here with a larger balcony here. So we also have a little small kitchen counter set here also, and a little dining table here. So make sure it's dining room that everyone will feel more private, but it's not that much private, but it's better comparing with standard, and the cost will getting more higher. And here's the overview. So as I just mentioned, now we just have 2 rooms of deluxe, and this side and this side, which is the same thing, but we just mirror it. And here is our deluxe room. We have feel more private and comfortable with in more space here. And the same decoration is we need make a tone like a tone of feel brown with white for make it feel more cozy. And here is the overview with the deluxe room is very near with the standard room. You just can walk in and then go through the room. And beside that, the last type of room is villa, and I do design with villa pool that is about 5 rooms of villa here. So as we can see, if we talk about villa, that means we need to design to make our customer who live here feel very private and they have their own space to make any activity they want. And there are 2 bedroom comparing the other. They just have 1 bedroom, but here we have 2 bedroom, which is master bedroom and just standard bedroom. But we have 1 bed with the king side, and we have a large dining living space or living room here, and we also have a larger kitchen set that is standard room didn't have it. And we also have a larger balcony, and we have larger swimming pool here. And for those who are staying in villa, they will stay at the highest place in our building, and they can obviously see the view without any hiding. So the advantage of them here is they will feel more private and they will see the view very clear. And here is the type of our villa. So here is the villa. The villa is, as I say, is the higher place, so you need to access with elevator here. And all about the generator room, the pump safety tank is about in here is the first ground here, and all this stuff can exist with. And here is 5 room of our villa type. In the zone A will be more lower comparing in zone B. Okay, here is the perspective view in our villa. So we can see that we have a mirror fence here for make sure that our customer didn't fall down. Okay, sorry for the sound. Okay, so we can see here is the zone A, and at the upper side is zone B that we can see they didn't hiding each other. That make sure that everyone will see the view. And here is also the decoration is will more
Atira, sorry,
It's-
1 more minute.
is that it? Oh, I'm so sorry. My neighbor is just riding the bike. Okay, here is the decoration here in the villa room. It's quite similar with other, but there are more details here. Like we have a little basic inside. We do combination with the steels and wood. Here we use a marble, and here is the view. You can see that there are no roof from the lower building hiding them anymore. And we can obviously see the view very clear. And here is one room. And here is the entrance for go to their own room. And here is about the lobby and office. So as we see that all the building we need to make a step. So also here is a lobby and office. We do in the same building, but we have a place that to separate them for make sure that it's just for the lobby only just customer can access here, and for staff can access with the office. But I also want the officer, the manager can see the activities here in the lobby too. So that's why I make lobby become double volume for make sure that people who are in the second floor can just see them from the here in the mirror wall or the curtain wall here. So here is our little section here. Here is the office room, and here is the library and the toilets there. And here is the entrance of our office. We can see, as we say in the lobby, we make it like double volume for make sure that people come here feel more comfortable, because the highest of ceiling will make them feel more comfortable and can see the view very clear. And here is the entrance. We make here is the check-in point, and after that we can just go behind that for sitting for waiting at waiting area, or they can go to the library over there. And here is the library, a small library that can accept for those who just want to come and read or make some work here. So it can be a place that they can do their work here. So at here we can see the view also very clear with the swimming pool here. And here is the office space. Office space here is the manager's room. That means manager can go there and see the activities at the lobby. And here from the beach looking to the lobby, can obviously see that the curve here. I didn't want to make it just like a box, but we just make it like a curve for make sure that view they can see like the panorama like that. And here is the library. And beside that, we also have a fitness and sport. And for my design, I want to combine the fitness and sport, fitness like gym, together, because at this space we can see that I spend too much space for our rooms, so we have just a little space. So I just combine it together for the gym and spa, just make it 2 floor, like first floor and second floor. For the fitness or for the gym, just add I will put in the first floor, and the spa I will put in the second floor because it's more private and some people need to change or make a sauna or massage there. It's more private there. And comparing for those in the first floor is more accessible and they can see the view very clear. And the design here, I make it like a cylinder that makes sure that we have seen the view that like 360 degree here. And we just like not that much equipment here at our fitness, but just make sure that our customer can come here and just play. And also we have a double volume here for the stair to access to the second floor, for make sure that they feel not very will make sure that they will very comfortable with it, not very crowded, will feel very crowded here. And here is the overview in our fitness and spa. In spa, we will make the curtain glass with 2 sides seeing. That means the other from outside couldn't see people inside, but people inside can see outside. But at the first floor, it's just normal curtain wall. And here we can see here is the equipment places. And if you want to go upstairs, just go with this stair. Or for those who cannot go with stair, we have elevator here. Here is the view, and here is the second floor. We have a sauna room, we have a massage room. Okay, after that we have a banquet or is dining for those who want to reserve for their event, for those who didn't come here but other customer that want to reserve for their meeting, their seminar. Or here just there are 100 seats, and here it just designs about 120 seats for make a spare. And here is our our rooms. We also have a store or our own toilets here. We have women's, boy, and also for those who are unable people. And here is the view. That means for those who want to just come to join the seminar, they just go here without disturb the room in other side, but the room zone other side, so just can access here. And the same thing, we have the same decoration. We have a canvas fabric for make it like a ceiling decoration, for make sure it feel more local and also feel that a little bit luxury here. And here is the room. We have decorate our wall with wood designing, and here at night. And beside that, we also have a dining hall, like the restaurant for those who stay with us, for customers in our resort. So this is come here to the dining hall. And we also have a dining hall in indoor and also outdoor, for make sure that which place that they want to go with. And here is the overview with our dining hall. Beside that, we have a kid club, so we just make like a playground here, make a fence, like for make sure it's not become too dangerous. We have like a spray waters, like water spray here. And here is the back of house. All the staff will have their own place, like laundry or place that they go to lunch here. And it's the back of house, and all the service is here. All the sanitary on the HVAC system is here beside of the office, like near with the parking. And here is our swimming pool system, and also about the detail, how we can do the roof detail, how we can plant in the first floor. And here is all the material in our design, in my design. And here is the model that I do cutting, because all the project students have to do their own model cutting. And here is my model. You can see the overview. And here the view. That's all for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Atira Maunti, on the presentation about Rising Sun Beach Resort, expressing about the main focus of providing uninterrupted views of the sunrise, and also providing a lot of spaces related to the resort. Okay, thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite our second presenter from Walailak University, Ms. Supapit Hirantani, with her project titled Resort Project, The Reflection of Kanom. Without further ado, I would welcome Ms. Supapit to start the session. Thank you.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Supapit Hirantani. You can call me by Tong or Supapit, easy to call. Let's get started. Okay. My present. You can hear my voice.
Yes, very clear.
Okay. My presentation today is about research project, the reflection of Kanom. The project is located in Kanom district, Nakhon Si Thammarat province. Yes. The area of this project had different slopes. The north and west area are close to public roads. The south is close to the private area, and the east area is close to the beach and the sea. In this project, I studied the laws and regulation of resort design and universal design to suit for use of the customers. Okay. There are approximately 40 guests staying at the resort, and the guests booking 100 seats at banquet rooms. So we provider are divided into a part of front office, main office facility, and the back of the house. Concept design in this project, I use reflection, a concept that reflects off the content of a slope location. The sea can be seen reflecting the sunlight or the composition of the area. So I use this for show a reflection of the sea, and you can be seen at different times. Therefore, the building is designed to overlook the sea, have an area the surrounding modern decoration. Okay, let's move to the style that I used in this project is modern style, because the style is simple, and I think this style make the guests feel comfortable and relaxed. This is most and tone that I use in this project. Case study that I have a study. We have a 3 project. First project that I study, the resort villa. I study the concept of function, about the concept function, and the building shape design. And next, the Casa de la Fora, I study the structure, the level of the building, and perspective. And the last, Mason Resort, I study the room and function inside. The function diagram is divided into a public, semi-public, private, and service. The route will be divided into 5 routes, including the route of the staff in the green line and the customer in the red line. So next, move to the zoning, divided into a restaurant in last project, parking, a reception zone, banquet room, swimming pool and activity area, a service, and the order of room type. This is the roof portion of the project. I use for most of a slab roof and a lean roof. The next layout, when the guests are reaching the front of the resort, they pass the security.
Miss Superpit, are you still there? Hello, Miss Superpit. Can you hear me?
I think that's just a little bit technical problem.
Right. Your voice is not clear, Miss Superpit. Do you mind to louder your voice?
You can hear me?
Yeah, it's better now.
This is about layout. When the guests reaching the front of the resort, they pass a security section to roundabout to park the car and drop off. To drop off the to the entrance, the reception hall, which connect to the office and banquet room. There is a court in the middle. We have a golf cart and available to service a customer. Okay. And next to the customer can walk down into the swimming pool. And next is we have a club and a dining room, and we have a toilet under the dining room. And next is all about the room type that we have in this resort, and the standard room. And in the back is about the parking and the staff zone. Okay. Next, I want to tell you about the brand. First band. The first band has divided in the area into 4 zones in this section. First floor is zone A. When the customer coming from the drop-off point, They walk into the hall and they can see the reception counter and the sitting area. They can walk to the toilet and they can walk to the lounge and the small library inside. And the back is the the reception counter. We have a luggage room, and next is a front office. We have an office, and we have a small pantry inside and toilet. And the next in right is the customer can walk, and we have a banquet room for the 100 seat, and they can walk to the area for take a picture. Okay, and zone B, this area is a swimming pool zone, activity zone, and we have a bar. Inside we have a kid club and fitness, and we have a spa, sauna, and in the back is we have a toilet for take a bath. And the swimming pool is we use a step for go down to the beach. And zone C, this is employee. This is employee area. This area have a canteen, a locker room, toilets, and control room. And staff and engineer area and CCTV in this zone, and a canteen in this zone. And next building, we have an electric room, a pump room, and storage room and laundry room. Okay, and zone D is a standard room. The first floor is a single bed. Is in a single bedroom, and the second floor is a double bedroom. And the next level, we have a deluxe building and villa building. And special is we have a beachfront pool villa. Okay, the standard room on the standard room, we have a toilet and single bedroom, two bedroom, and balcony. You can go to the garden for see the sea. Okay, and in the second floor, in a deluxe room there, we have a two house. The street face is outer. As you walk in from the entrance, is few came before you arrive at the pool area. You can see the view as the building. So garden, the swimming pool has jacuzzi for guests to relax in a sunny area, and a bathtub are with view through the glass. The lower level is another part of the villa. There are a total of 3 villas. Open the door. You can open the door to connect the pool. It's after you can stay. You can stay as a couple or group of friends. There is a small pantry inside, and the last step is near to the sea. Is a beachfront villa. This type is villa has a specialty that it is across to the sea. There are 2 bedrooms inside, one sitting area, and 1 toilet and 1 bathroom. This elevation, the front of this project, and the elevation when you look up from the beach is the side of elevation. The section A just cut through the swimming pool and the villa, and section B cut through the accommodation. The pool system I will use over 4 systems to allow the customer to feel the movement of the water falling down. And the area condition, we use VRV system and the split tie system in a different type of room. Perspective, and this slide show you the front of this project. Is show you the side and the front entrance, and show you the swimming pool that I have in this project. This is so swimming pool for the kids, and this picture is show you the lounge and driverly zone. This picture is show you about the banquet room and how in standard room. In the kids club and fitness and dining room. Thank you for your attention.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Supapit Hirantani, on your presentation about resort project, the reflection of Kanom. I think we shall move to the third presenter from Walailak University, Ms. Norun Yana Pitakjit, with her interior design proposal for the K-pop Community Center, Patung Tani. The room is yours, Ms. Norun Yana, sorry. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the interior design major, I would like to welcome you here today. My name is Nurunyana Pirakjit, and I'm graduate with a degree in interior design of Walailak University. So I'm glad to be here today, and I would like to take this opportunity to talk to you about my art thesis. My thesis is an interior design proposal for the K-pop Community Center, Patung Thani. I will start with general information on K-pop. South Korean entertainment culture is phenomenal, infiltrate and spread, become parts of the life of the world. And nowadays, Thai teenagers are very interested. As a result, the behavior of the band is artistic as a support influenced by the current popular Korean singer or songwriter trend. It had brought joy and inspiration to the group of the people who are passionate about the performing art of the singer and music, which is a reflection instead of the happiness from the taste and preference of the people in the present era that has gained South Korean culture through the use of the music to penetrate the value of a foreign culture through entertainment. Why is a surge in the K-pop popularity? It's called the Hallyu. Hallyu is a Korean wave. The idea that South Korean pop culture has grown in the prominence to become a major driver of a global culture. K-pop influences all over the world, whether it be culture, society, and economy. However, the Korean import that gained the most attention is probably K-pop, South Korea pop music industry. Here is the objective of the project: is be an area for giving opportunity to a group of the people who want to be an artist, and is it a place to support group of fans in Korean artists to do activity together, and to become a popular trading center to help drive the economy by the development policy, and to promote and create outstanding exchange of Thai culture and South Korean culture. This is a site location. Site location located opposite Future Park Rangsit, Pathum Thani. There is a potential of the surrounding contact to support the expansion and growth of the city, and is the center for travel in and out of the Bangkok. They have a red light train connecting to the Bangkok city. And it is a building site. It had an area of approximately 3,000 square meters, with the front of the building will be visible from the outside to the inside, and can walk through the project to the other side of the building. A target group or user have many types, but the mostly of the project user are Thai teenagers who like K-pop. There are many activities that fan group to do together, whether it's be bus house. Bus house is mean the sort of new and the gathering of fans to support their favorite artists created by the fan club, or K-pop story for collect artist information, make fan know more about the artist's identity through information. This is another activity that is buzz house often does it. The fan club always does something special, give you favorite artist something to do, such as a making, create birthday and anniversary project, and have a charity activity such as collecting money for the donation in the name of fan or artist, and join together to do good deeds for society. So our behavior therefore bring the activity to the area, such as a common area, studio, then practice, or the exhibition, gallery, theater, or and multifunction hall. And this is a matrix diagram and bubble diagram. It shows the relationship of the function in the K-pop community center. Yes. Functional relationship accessible by the main Intan and sub Intan. In the sub Intan for the staff to the office, and another Intran for the artist is a privacy entrance. Yes. Is a zoning. The first floor zoning has a public zone, is a reception, waiting area, indoor space, common space, exhibition, K music shop, K beauty shop, K fashion, K food, and K coffee. And the service zone is security and toilet, maid room, a system room, audit, and a fire exit. The second floor zoning has a public zone, is a hall, waiting area, then practice studio, snack bar, multifunction hall, and private zone is the control room or storage or the backstage, and storage room is a toilet and a fire exit. And the third floor zoning has a private zone, is a office. Yes. concept, K-pop and community center design concept had brought a wave of music that is like a wave that bring in Thai คลื่นความสุข it means happiness from the past and the preference of the people in the present era. This concept of design want to invade the modern in present the world in the virtual world with the world in the middle between the digital world and the real world. Using fine color and sound of the music is related to the K-pop community center. This is the layout. The site area has an area of the approximately 9,400 square meter. The building wide 32 meters and deep at the end 80 meters. It had an area of the approximately 3,000 square meters. At the first floor has hall and common space for the group of fans to do activity together and create shop like a shopping center such as K music, K fashion, K beauty, K food, and also have a exhibition space. This project key point is a exhibition space is a powerful and flexible and easy to approach for another space, and user can see exactly what then in the exhibition will look like. In the second floor, mostly of the functional area is a multi-function hall and also a dance practice studio and snack bar. And the third has a private zone, is an office. This is a elevation of the project. Reception and reception have the for fans to do activity together, charity activities such as collect money for the donation in the name of fan and artists, and join together to do good deed for society, and has a common space for a group of fans to meet and convert together. This is a exhibition. Exhibition collected. I have a 5 zone. Is it a temporary exhibition, gallery K-pop artists, screen displays, timeline K-pop, and a music playlist. It present collect artist information for presenting various history of the artist and presenting information show to the continue the to distribute, especially the new fans of the band who came to follow later will get to know its other as well. This is a perspective of the exhibition space. And K music is a K shop is had a K music, K fashion, K food, K cafe. K shop to become a popular trading center is all about South Korea. This is a K music is shop. Artist product come in a variety of style depending on the era, such as an album, good, or poster. And K fashion shop has a Korean trend fashion import product 100% such as a clothes, shoe, accessory. This is a K beauty shop. Has an item popular cosmetic from the South Korea. And K foods in the Korean state food, and K cafe and restaurant that play music for in with to spin the wheel that fan group can help drive artists. This is a help increase the view on the MV or other video on the artist to create a trend. Yes, and I have an area for waiting area for the support people who come to the concert. Yes, and has a karaoke. In Korean, it's called norebang. Norebang is an area for the entertainment, reflect the culture of the Korean people who love to sing the song, and have a dance practice studio is an area for giving opportunity to group of the people who want to be an artist. And the last one is a multifunction hall for the concert or fan meeting. The fan cafe doesn't something special give fairy studies something to do such as making create birthday and anniversary project. Yes, thank you for your attention.
Right. Thank you very much, Ms. Norun Yana Pitakjit, for your thesis presentation on the interior proposal for the K-pop Community Center, Pathum Thani. I think I would like to open the session for question and answer with the panels from UTM now. May I invite Architect Norshahida Azili for feedback or questions to the presenters?
Yes, of course. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Izura. So I will give the comment to all the 3 students that have presented their work just now. You guys can hear me clearly, right? Yeah, okay. So we will start with Atira Mauti. Okay, you are doing Rising Sun Beach Resort and your focus is about the local luxury style, right? Okay, so when we talk about local luxury style, we cannot put aside one thing is about the sophisticated. The building must look luxury and sophisticated as well. That is what people buy when we talk about luxury hotel and the rest. And then another thing is that when we talk about luxury, of course, you will spend some amount to book one room. So the question is, what makes your building or your hotel different from others?
Okay, so what make my buildings different from others? I think obviously that we can say is the mass of the building that I do for them, like there obviously we can say the stepping mass that didn't hiding other, and the way that we do with the landscape, which we use cut and fill system for the ground. That means that we can see the space for them, for people who can go upstairs or downstairs. And otherwise is the decoration in our room, that we have a specific type that just say it is not like local luxury. That means to make sure that everybody here will feel like they can feel the real natures around here, like in the Sichuan, because here is a very local place, and I want to make a local place become more precious thing. Like, how can we make wood become a diamonds? So we need to put some addition for make them very become more valuable. Like, we can see how can we manage the wood, and there's some decoration there that we can feel like, wow, this is comfortable. It's not feel too much local, but we can feel a little bit cozy and feel luxury. Like we can make a decoration combination with the steels or with the chandelier, with the type of room. Even though the room is just a simple room, but we can see the view, like we can see the overview, like panorama, the view that maybe people maybe some people haven't seen this view before, like very high speed. You can obviously see the view of the sea, the sides around that. That's it.
All right, thank you for your answer. I think you have that the idea in your mind what your building should look like and what people will experience and so on. But generally, it's a good idea. Okay, how you place all the luxury rooms for the villa, the standard deluxe, and the placement, everything. I think it is quite well organized. But it's just that when we talk about hotel, you cannot run away from the interior, the detailing interior, where normally your architect will pour their heart okay, all the ideas and so on to design every inch detail, even the doorknob, you will design it special, custom made for this particular hotel, where you cannot just find it from any supplier. It's not something that you can just choose from catalog. Okay, that is what makes things luxury. So perhaps I would suggest it's a good scheme. It's just that you need to further look into the interior part to reflect again about the luxury and the sophisticated look of this hotel. Because some view, you have the idea, the layout looks good, but the interior need to be enhanced. That what make people or the user wants to spend their money for one night in the hotel. Nothing that it is not like their normal room, because perhaps if it's too normal, their house is much more better than the rooms that they are going to stay for one night. So it must be wow effect. You must have the wow effect in each rooms, but then it will become more the environment will looks different and so on. Okay, but overall it's a good attempt. For the super bit, is it? Okay. I noticed that you also do it's the same site like Atira, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And your concept is about the reflections and modern. It's a good concept as well. About the reflections and about the modern style that you want to inject in your building development. It's just that I think you need to look into how the organizations and how do you link the Dulux, because Dulux is being the placement of the Dulux room is a bit far from the pool. Am I right? And then the villa, they have their own pool. So because pool, the common pool is for everybody to go in, where it should prioritize as well for the deluxe, because the only place that they want to enjoy the pool is the common swimming pool. But the villa, they have their own villa. So the idea is good. It's just that the placement of the deluxe rooms, I think, should be put nearby or easily accessed, where you don't have to go through a long walkway and so on to reach the common pool, because that is the only place where people will gather. But putting that in the middle, it's also good, because it's like the magnet to your what I call the hotel developments in terms of the area and so on. Do you enjoy doing this, Supapit?
Yes, but I'm excited and I worry about the language.
Sorry, about what?
I can understand some word, but I'm, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. And then I would also like to suggest perhaps you can look more into the definitions of the modern interior and modern architecture on how you want to implant in your building. Because like I said just now to Atira, when it comes to hotel, the interior plays a bigger role, because that what makes your hotel different from others. That is the value of your hotel, and that will also play the roles that why people want to stay in your hotel over and over again. Because when the hotel is very nice, people will don't mind to pay some amount to stay there and perhaps to come back again. Okay, and also need to look into the wow factor of what makes your different hotel your hotels is different from other hotels. Okay, that is also another selling value for a hotel development. But overall, it's a good idea, Supapit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So shall I move to Nurunyana? Is it? I believe that you are a K-pop fan.
Yes.
Lalisa, is it? She's from Thai. I know, right? BTS, the Blackpink, all this culture it's a K-pop culture, K-pop wave all over the world. Even the French also speak Korean, but I cannot speak Korean. But I know some of their songs. Looking at my niece, keep singing their song and so on. Okay, you're doing an interior, so interior and hotel. it's something similar that you need to have this shrine. It's about K-pop community where you have the K beauty, and then you have the K food, about cafe. The overall compositions in terms, even your placements of the spaces, I think it is well organized. How do you segregate the public space, semi-public, and also the private spaces? It's just that the question is that about the concept. How do you derive that? What was the concept that you showed just now about the rhythm? Something about the rhythm of the K-pop that you want to implement in your design. Am I right? The concept of your interior design.
Concept in interior design is a wave.
Wave. It's wave, right?
Yes, wave of the music, the sound, and there's a like the wave that bring in the Thai is a ขึ้นความสุข that mean happiness from the taste of the preference of the people. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. I think the reflections of the concept that you want to bring in is quite good. It's quite well developed, except for some parts, especially that I saw that maybe the cafe, the restaurant, because at that particular part, I don't see the reflections of the wave that you want to implement in the interior. The rest is looks good, because when we talk about cafe and also the restaurant for Korean, there's a lot of foods that they are going to serve. So looking at your cafe just now, it's something like a fast food, a very simple cafe that, I mean, in terms of food that they are going to serve. So I would like to suggest, because are you a Korean food lover? Do you like to eat Korean food?
Yes, I love.
Okay, so do I. I do like Korean food a lot. Okay, especially the chicken. Okay, and especially all the foods like their kimbap, a lot of things. Okay, so because they have kind of different setting, different food require different table setting. Some of it with the steamboat in middle, some of it with you even cook on your table and so on. So looking at your cafe interior, uh, it seems like things that which is so common, they perhaps can inject in a little bit of the Korean culture inside your perspective of the cafe, but the rest looks good. Okay, I think that's all a comment from me, Dr. Izura. So I will
Thank
pass back
you.
to you.
All right. Thank you, Architect Norshahida, for your feedbacks and questions. Can we have Dr. Azalilah, Ramdani, Musa for some feedbacks to the
Okay,
presenter?
thank you, moderator. Okay, hi, good assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all. The presenter today, I would like to congratulate to all the to the presenter. What you have present today is I can call it a very good in terms of scheme designs, and also your ideas on the, especially on the K-pop is a new ideas, very good. Okay, I go to the first presenter, which is Atira Mauti. Your project is about resorts and the rising suns, something like related to resort that focusing on the good on the view, which is a very good how you consider on the beautiful view onto your designs, and then you also have a good idea on the luxury styles, and then you provide some of the how the terrace strategy is very good, how to maximize the view, which is that is also the good strategy. And then but what I my question is same actually. What is same with the first panel, which is what is the attractions to your resort. So because of I see that what you have designed is could be similar with the other resorts. So what is the main or prominence, or what is the specialties that you offer into your design? That is, I think you miss missed opportunity on that. If you can press up some of the in terms of activities, in terms of specialties on detailing, perhaps maybe this the specialties in terms of interior design, perhaps maybe that is a missed opportunity on that. You need to consider what is the specialties to compare to others resorts. And then my question is, uh, what is the did you study on the social cultural on the surrounding context, Atira? What is the activity on the surrounding context? Besides you provide activity, swimming pool, you have gym, you have spa. So what is the existing cultural activities surrounding your context, means your surrounded area?
I mean, for the local people, right?
Yes, yes.
Actually, that place we have lots of cultural activity like that. Majority of people, they are they go fishing. They have handmade crafting or beside. But majority of people there's because the site is very near with the sea and maybe with like there are majority of like how can we say Belaya like
Huh?
nelayan
Oh, okay, fisherman. Okay, okay, okay.
fishermen like
Okay.
majority like
So so
fishermen
so
and
you alarm on the existing activity and lifestyle. So about the beach. So is there any activities on the beach opposite to your sites? For example, like swimming. It can be swim on that beach or just viewing.
sorry.
Can be any activities on the beach, yeah, opposite your buildings, your resort. Is there any activities existing on the beach?
Yeah, we have like places around the beach that we have like a patio for those who come to relax or make a sunbathing just like that. It's not very hard activity like go fishing, just for relaxing activity that provided in my
Okay.
hotel.
Yeah, actually, when we design in any building or any buildings, so we need to take in consideration on the surrounding context, on the culture and social activities, so that you can some or part of your design can connect to the surrounding context. For example, like there must be an activities on the beach, so that how you provide a spaces for your guests to mingle around with the surroundings activities. For example, like if your beaches have a lot of activities like they can swimming or any what we call snorkeling and so on, so that you can, yeah, beside you provide a swimming pool, you the guests also can do activities that surrounding context, or perhaps maybe they come to the resorts to experience to go for fishing, for example. Perhaps like that, how you can connect some of the local activities, so that it will relate with your resort activity and also the existing. So there is missed opportunity also on that, on the surrounding context, and also understanding about the culture, relax on the culture and socio culture activities. So everything, I think there's nothing more. Everything is very good. You organize it well. Your design is very, I can say, I would like to go because I can feel the calmness that you provide, which is very good in terms of the interiors, which I'm really enjoying when I see your presentation. Thank you, Moti. And then Atira, sorry. And then we go to the Supapit. You doing a reflection on Kanom. May I know what is the Kanom? Kanom, is it the locations?
The location at the same place, at the same location with Atira.
Okay, kind of means location. So same goes with you have good study on case study in term of the you know what is you study on case study. You study on the construction, you study on the style and so on, which is very good. But what the missed opportunity same with the Atira, which is connect your result with the existing or valuable element available into your surrounding context. So you need to identify what is the strength about your sites, and then what is the opportunity that you can consider into your design. There is much opportunity on that, but overall I can see this is very good, and also did you provide any extended design to link the beach, Supapit?
Yes.
Yes, okay. That means very good. And then also my comment on the wayfinding. Yes, I do agree on architect Shahida says on the building subs. I think you need to clarify how you link one building to another building is a way even as I can see also it's quite far, but it's okay, can be far, but the wayfinding means how you connect. So one building to another building is most important thing lah, right? And then on the I see the balcony you have solid balustrade, solid wall, and maybe you can think about that so that it blocks the view. You have the good view, but when you put the balustrade, a solid wall, a solid concrete, something like that, it blocks the view. So you need to think about that also. Okay. But overall, what I can see is a good design also from Supapit. And we go to the third presenter, which is Nuyuyana. Okay, Nuyuyana. Very interesting, Kapot Community Center. May I know, did you conduct any question and survey or any interview to the fans of K-pop community? Did you do some interview to collect the data? No, yes,
There's a search in the
yes.
Google.
So because of you one of the fans, so actually to provide some of the activities for the community, you need to conduct a survey or interview what is the requirement, what they need for the K-pop community itself, so that because of you are providing community center, so that means you need to know what they need, what the community or fan needs in terms of activities, in terms of uh, uh, and beyond and so on. So any requirements you need to know from the from your, we can call it target group. So you need to launch some of the interview, you need to conduct some of the questionnaire survey perhaps, so that you can validate this is what the K-pop community needs. Okay, but overall the idea is very good. It's new because of K-pop is I believe there's a wave of new in trend nowadays. So when you are providing this community center, so you celebrating the K-pop community of fans, so they can enjoy it, they can go to that your buildings. And then my comment is when you designing something on the interior, the element is you must need to consider about the detailing. What is the interior style you want to provide into your design? For example, like you know that K-pop is from Korea, maybe perhaps you can have some of the Korean ambience style. Perhaps you can insert into your design, interior design. uh, I think that's only my comment, but overall uh, I believe that K-pop fan or groups will be loved to go into your your buildings. Okay, thank you, good luck, congratulate and good luck. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Azalilah, for your feedbacks. And may I invite our third panel from UTM, Dr. Tengku, Intan, Suraya, Tengku Aziz for feedbacks. Thank you.
Thank you, Moderator Dr. Izura. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. Okay, I will straight give my comments to the presenters. Okay, for the first presenter, I think you have a very good, simple and minimal design of scheme, okay, as an overall design. But I wonder, how do you determine your design concept, Atira?
Determine about my design concept, right? Like I just mentioned just now that that's about stepping, seeing, like we need to make everything being like stepping, didn't hiding each other, make sure everyone will see the view.
So you are emphasizing on the view.
Yes,
Okay.
and the mass of building.
Okay, good. So you are considering on the opportunity of having advantage of the beautiful view. Okay, but my comments, you need to consider on the structural and material detailings, okay, so that you can enhance the beautiful scenery as well as the ideas of being to observe the rising sun and other sceneries. Okay, maybe what can you play around with the elements of shadow casting? How can you portray the effect of the sunrise towards your structure and details? Okay, so those kinds of elements actually you can integrate with the cultural of your place as well. Okay, so that will bring something special towards your design. Okay, I think overall it's very good attempt. Okay, thank you, Atira. So my comment for the second presenter, how do you actually elaborate the reflection of Kanom towards your design?
The reflection of Hanon, that's in my idea. I reflect about the water when the sunlight reflect the sea. Kanom is about the location in this project is a slope, and we can see the sea when reflect with the sunlight. So I use the about the location, and we use the step for when the customer see is a step can see the reflection of the water. And in this project we use the swimming pool to describe the reflection in this project and the connect with the sea, and the reflection both of the swimming pool and the sea. So the reflection of Phnom is mean this location
Okay,
can see.
so you are emphasizing on the location of Kanom. Okay, means that actually you need to have a strong background of Kanom. Okay, so how do you study not only on the physical elements of the Kanom, but what is about the social and cultural that you can find out in Kanom, so that you can bring for your user to enjoy your resort as well. Okay, and maybe it will be part of the detail elements on your resort, okay, to enhance more architectural design, okay, for your building. Okay, like so to consider on the climate condition. Okay, how do you enhance the design strategies, okay, for your resort? Okay. Okay, thank you, Spapit. Okay, I will move to the third presenter. What is the element of K-pop in your design, actually? Element is the wave or the music, and in interior design concept is the visual it in the futuristic that material is a translucent material or the hologram material, and the metal is reflect to the design. So basically on the material. Yes. And Okay. the theme in the futuristic. Okay, so futuristic. Okay, so do you consider on the needs of your target user? And the
I mean the facilities that you provide in your building, okay, how do you actually design to blend with the futuristic idea?
I can understand some word. So
Okay. Maybe how to simplify. Okay, how do you design your spaces, okay, to at the same time to suit for your users and also to make the futuristic ideas to be seen?
because K-pop, K-pop is in the present era, K-pop is a
It's okay, you can try.
in the color,
Color.
in the yes, as I using fun color in the sound of the music is related to K-pop entertainment center.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so maybe in future, okay, when you do interior spaces, okay, you need to consider on the users, okay. So who is your target user? How do they actually going to use your spaces, okay, and how do you guide them, okay, to use the area, and at the same time using the detailings of your futuristic idea, okay, how to enhance the user to enjoy your spaces, okay. So in terms of your colors, it can be seen, but I think you need to go detail in the detail of the spaces arrangement, how you show the users are going to interact in your building spaces, okay. So it will enhance more on the spaces journey, okay. So you can enhance on the futuristic ideas, how do they explore your buildings inside, okay. I think that's all from me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, moderator. Back to you.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Intan, for your feedbacks and questions to the presenter. And thank you again to all the presenters from Walailak University. Okay, before we proceed to our presenters from UTM, please be informed that all presenters are given a maximum of 15 minutes each to present your projects, yeah? Okay, now we will have a presentation by our first presenter from UTM, Mr. Chow Zen Nam, with his project title Redefine Creative Co-working Spaces, Extensive Integration of Courtyard and Atrium Design in Creating Creative Co-working Space Through Biomimicry Approach. The room is yours, Mr. Chow. Thank you.
Good morning to all. My name is Chow Zen Nam. Hold on. Yep, you can see the screen, right? We are actually in this first semester of master, so we are basically doing more towards how sustainable design can able us to solve the issue of COVID-19 or improve their workplace performance. So my project titles will be Redefining Creative Co-spaces. So it's actually an extensive integration of courtyard and also atrium design in creative co-working office through a biomimicry approach. So my building program will be a co-working office collaborative with creative workspace. So it's like how co-working office and creative workspace can actually work under a single roof. So my site is located at Johor Bahru, and my client is actually a GMBB. It's a creative community which have actually a branch in Kuala Lumpur itself. So before we start, we have to identify what is the main problems and what is the issue we are actually dealing with. The first issue is that co-working spaces design that does not cater for natural ventilations. As you know that a lot of offices, they are all mostly mechanical ventilated aircon. So, but in research, it shows that the risk of catching COVID-19 is about 18.7 times higher than in open air. So we know that the risk is actually there. And the next one is a high energy consumption in our workspace. So it is proof that about 64% of this electricity use are actually used in air conditioning and lightings, which is a lot. And the next one is the lack of environmental awareness of sustainable building design in our community, because a lot of people, a lot of users, they doesn't have that sense what is a good design of a building. So as architect, we have to carry out that responsibility to improve the space usage in our space. So my creative co-working spaces are mostly wanting to actually creating a sustainable workplace, cater for job, creativity, and also green. So the three main aspects of sustainability I'm targeting are actually economical, which is related to co-working spaces, social, which is related to creative workplace, and also environmental as green landscape. So you can see the correlations between these three important sustainability aspects and how it actually complements to each other. So let's talk about something related to my site. My site is located at Johor Bahru at the very southern part of Malaysia, and in this place called Wadi Hana. And my plot ratio is maximum go to 1:8, and then which give me the maximum GFA about 800,504 square feet. So this is a section cut of my building on my site. As you can see, that is about 6 meters below this road level. So my site is 6 meters sunken from the road level. So from this master plan, we first understand what is the site context and what is the radius between 400 meters. So first we can see that our site is just located right beside this Shabelle highway, and it's connected by a few roads. And then the density of low rise as shown in this diagram as in our site is fairly high, but the high rise is actually more prominent in our site itself, because as you know that our site is being surrounded with all these high rises, and these are the green density around this radius of 400 meters. So when we study about ventilations, we have to need to know how we want to take advantage of these natural ventilations. So in general, in Johor Bahru, we actually have these windrows mostly coming from the north and the south side. But as you can see from the site itself, our building is being fully blocked by this north area with all these tall buildings. So what we want to do is to emphasize and also to take advantage fully on the wind coming from the south side. So we have actually done a simulation to see how this microclimate works. So we actually put our site into a simulation to see if we direct the wind from south side. But instead, our wind is not coming from south side due to this big building right beside our site. And it's actually diverting all these winds coming from the southwest side or into our site itself. So this actually gives a very good information how we want to take advantage of our natural ventilations. So first, we have how we want to have this massing development is that we respect the site, and further we respond to it. So first, we have this wind flow coming from the southwest side, and then we create two different blocks which separates creative workspace and also co-working spaces. So we further split it, and to actually create this cavity as a courtyard to actually direct this wind flow into our building itself. And we further elevate the building to create this elevated floor for further cross ventilation. And we further add two more blocks on top as a permanent office on top of these two blocks. So from this diagram, you can see we're actually trying to achieve these three main sustainability relate back to our concept itself: environmental, economy, and social as well. So this is the building concept to create a staggering floor plates. At the same time, it enables to create this central green lung, or what we know as a green courtyard. So this enables to create this verticality and also connectivities within spaces, not just in a certain horizontal plane, but as well as a vertical plane. So we also introduce this facade to actually enhance this transparency and permeability to see how much we want the sunlight to come in and how much you want the users to see the view outside. And further, we have to refine it by these volumetric delineations, by these semi-privates, privates, and also public. So this is the design sketches where we have in intentional massing. So we basically separated spaces in creative workshop, and then co-working spaces on the right side, and permanent rentable office on the top. And this podium area will be this public area for facilities, multi-purpose area, retails. And of course, all these spaces are revolved around this central green lung. So this is some of the sketches of this massing, how I want this massing to place, and what's the proportions when it plays to the side. So at the same time, this podium create this pedestrian entrance to draw people into the public spaces for retails and also entertainment. So because we emphasize more on this green lung and how this green lung can actually promote this net effect. So this is some of the sketches of this green lung, central green lung, because what I understand is that a courtyard able to promote that effect, but how can we just emphasize and also make this courtyard more interesting and more interactive by inducing with all these activities and green at this central courtyard. So some of the ventilation strategies, the main one will be a stack effect. So we mostly wanted this building to breathe by itself or to cool down by itself. That's the most sustainable way to actually cool down a building. And we have done some case study based on Eastgate Center and also Sorry, Singapore, both also using the same concept and the same way to cool the building by itself. The next one is across ventilations. So some of these precedent studies we have done, for example, Tamarind Square located in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Cyberjaya. So how it redirects the wind flow to actually cool down the courtyard internally is really interesting. And the next one is, I think, is very prominent, which is the traditional Malay houses, where buildings are on stilts for reasons, because they wanted to create this opening below it for cross ventilations, because when you're able to cool down the ground, you're able to cool down the spaces as well. So this is one of the concept, one of the sustainable strategies that I'm trying to use. So now we have this building, which is we call a courtyard within the building, means the courtyard is surrounded with buildings. So when we further develop, what if we are able to create multiple courtyards to form a building within a courtyard instead? So all this building, all these spaces are being surrounded by green on the left and right side. So we can see what is the benefit of having multiple courtyard and building within courtyard. The first one is it avoids deep planning, because as we know that deep planning is actually a killer tackle for ventilations. When we have a narrower plannings, it enables to actually promote this cross ventilation more easily, at the same time to further cool down these office spaces. So this is also the courtyard effect. Instead of one courtyard effect we have in the very center, why not we create more courtyard effect to actually cool the building more efficiently? And the third one is actually a natural daylighting, how punctual and it can actually penetrates this natural daylight direct or indirectly into our office spaces. So when we have this general massing, we were thinking about how we can take advantage of these green opportunities, where we have these few strategies to push, elevate, and pull. So to create green areas within our building itself. So when we relate to our site, we actually are respecting to the site. We know that there's green surrounding our building. So this is one of a block of a building. So how should we respond to it is that we wanted to actually create this vertical continuity, means we continue the green from the ground all the way into our site, but in a vertical way. So this is how it looks like when we actually create this vertical continuity, because you want people that work in the office work closely to the green itself. It doesn't feel like you're actually working in a building, at the same time you're working with the environment. So this is the rear view, how I create this big opening to actually channels all this wind into my building from the southwest side of from my side. So this actually creates this continuity of green at the same time channeling all this air wind into our building. So this is the left elevation and also the front elevation. And this is one of the schematic sections we have. So we see how much spaces we are able to create for this central green lung. So you can see from this entrance itself, we have this sunken courtyard. So it is really crucial to actually create this sense of places and also a point of attraction before diverse to any spaces for respecting people. So because we know that our office and workshop are usually using mechanical ventilations and natural ventilation, we form a hybrid ventilations. So we actually did a simulation to see how much this central green lung able to draw out the air to actually provide a fresh air to this office. So we know that using this natural stack effect, which is a natural buoyancy of cooling, we know that we take advantage of this high pressure and low pressure, which due to cold air and hot air. So it able to drag all this hot air from this office all the way to this central green lung and further omit all this hot air. So there will be constant fresh air coming into the office, and the openings will be windows and also some curtain panels, sliding curtain panels to our facade. So this is the green lung, how I want it looks like. So it's not just any courtyard which are empty void, but what if we can just take advantage of these spaces to make it more interactive as possible, to creating bridges between it to create activities within it. So this is a view from the internal. You can see there's a multiple bridges connecting two blocks, which is a co-working office and also creative workspace. So this bridge is really crucial to actually let people to interact, exchange idea, and have conversation during their talk when they're having this journey along this bridge. So on the short section itself, you can see that our spaces are being connected by bridge. So how we can take advantage of this connecting bridge by creating void to promote this stack effect at this central green lung. So we take a look when we cut a section in this area, look into the side of this green lung. This is how it looks like. So what I want to show here is that how much void we can actually create and how much openable window we are actually trying to allow the wind to be drawn to these spaces and further enhance to promote this stack effect at the central green lung itself. So this is how it looks like on the green lung. So these spaces does not just act as a courtyard effect, but at the same time able to create activities for people to relax in the break of their work, to enjoy the green and to continue their work of the day. So this is the front facing facade. And what I really wanted to emphasize here is that we have actually introduced this double skin facade. So how this double skin facade works is, first it has this first layer of roof structures. On the very first layer of the facade, we have actually these panels, which on the very top of this third level and the very bottom of this first level will be a mesh panel. And then in the center will be a low E glasses. And in the center part, we have this perforated platform for services. And we have internally, we have this glass shading device with hopper window. So in the section, how we can understand how this thing works in the stack effect, how we can omit all this hot air, is when we see that all this hot air is less dense, so it can travel all the way up to ceiling, and it's being dragged by this air inside here to this area where we omit all this hot air. So these are some of the simulations to prove that this double skin facade works. And this double skin facade is only applied to east facing and west facing, where we have intense sunlight towards our building itself. So these are some of the facade transformation based on this openable window and louvered. So this is some of the possibilities. So because this is all these green openings for sliding doors, so people can have a view towards the frontage. So about sustainable technology, we know that our building is fully focused a lot of vertical green. So how we wanted to tackle the irrigation problems, which I think most of the problem we have here, we wanted to have this irrigation system where we take advantage of this vertical farming. So it is actually a closed loop where we have this nutrient solution on the top, nutrient tank, and a pumping station below. So all this is going towards a closed loop and go back to. So it saves a lot of labor costing and maintenance issue. So the advantage of using this is that it actually saves 5 times less water than any conventional irrigation system in the industries. So some of the space configurations, so we know that our office are being separated into 3 main important spaces: creative space, co-working spaces, and also permanent office. So all these spaces are being arranged based on the noise level, because we know that, for example, music studio, the noise level is considered quite high. So we wanted to place it slightly below. So as we move up, the privacy is actually getting more and more private. So to show some of the floor plans, we just briefly go through. So this is a sub-basement where we have this drop-off in its center. Before we have this drop-off, we have this sunken amphitheater. To actually have this center of attraction before it disperses to all these spaces, respective spaces. So this sub-basement is mostly supplied by all these marketplaces and also bank and also some amenities. So this is how it looks like on the frontage. You can see this sunken amphitheater and how we wanted people to attract to these spaces and further have their own wayfindings to their respective spaces. So this is on the ground floor where we have these pedestrian entrances coming on the same level. At the same time, we have this staircase going to these sunken amphitheaters. And then on this ground floor itself are fully dominated, or even mostly all the spaces are mostly retails. We wanted all these retails to support all these office workers on top. So this building can be self-sustainable. So this is on the frontage and how it looks like. So you can see there's a bridge connecting all the way to these retails, or you can actually enjoy the spaces and these sunken amphitheaters before you find your way to your spaces itself. So this is on the first floor. First floor, we are mostly on these event spaces and also these facilities, gym, performance studio, or yoga studios. So how we wanted to emphasize on these event spaces, it is actually double volume, and it is very open and it can be seen from every angle itself. So it can be part of this attraction for spaces as well. So it's actually one of the key features, like we have these sittings to actually facing all this performance in this area. So on the typical floor.
Mr. Chow, sorry, one more minute, yeah?
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
And we have this we have this, I'm sorry. Okay, we have this typical floor, but we are not going to go through all, but we are going to go through with this some of interesting layout. So this is on the 5th floor. We can see that we are being separated into 2 different blocks, and each blocks have their own small courtyards as a green lung, but we all focus on this main central green lungs itself. So this is pantry spaces where we have a double volume and fully openable window to actually let people enjoy a view, at the same time enhance this ventilation system. So on the 7th floor, it's also a typical floor, but this time around it is actually separate into different connecting bridges. So it actually create a free roaming buildings for people to exchange ideas, people to explore new ideas. So we have actually a green lung on every blocks. So this is how the green lung looks like. So it not just act as a green lung, but actually a spaces for people to take a walk in the middle of their work or even their stress. They can actually walk to enjoy the green itself. And this is on the very top floor. The 2 blocks we added, which is 11 and 12th floor, are mostly for this permanent office or even our organizer office itself. So I think this marked the end of my presentations, and as a conclusions, I wanted to create a free roaming area for people to work, to enjoy working here at the same time, to able to curb a good ventilation system that enables to curb this COVID-19. So there's a quote from Daniel Pink. He said that the ultimate freedom for creative group is the freedom for them to roam and actually to experiment with new ideas. So I think that's marked the end of my presentation, and thank you so much for your time.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chow Zen Nam, on your presentation on redefined creative co-working space, looking at extensive integration of courtyard and atrium through biomimicry approach. Now, I would like to invite our second presenter from UTM, Mr. Amirul Haziq Abdul Aziz, about his project of KL Symphony, the making of Alam Melayu Cultural Hub. So without further ado, I welcome Mr. Amirul to start the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Izura. Okay, good morning. I think good afternoon already. Good afternoon to all the panels and my fellow friends from UTM and also from the Walailak University. So I'm representing my thesis. So I just gonna brief a bit. So my work is actually focusing on the urban work base, where we actually tackle on the urban context issues and also the issues that will be related to the site. So in this context, I will be talking about the KL Symphony, or the making of Alam Melayu Cultural Hub. So what is the meaning of placeness if traveling around the world feels exactly the same everywhere? So this is the idea of this project, where we can see the research outline of this thesis. So the tale of Jalan Tupera and its rise of Jalan Puduk and Jalan Sultan. So this is my proposed urban
Sorry,
site.
Amirul. Sorry, are you sharing the screen?
Oh, sorry. Dah. Okay, can you see?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so this is my proposed site. So, but I just want to give one important remark. However, places that have a high density are not guaranteed to bring activity to the street. So this is what happens to KL and all the important or the major city in the global context. We can see that the city is not being addressed to for the public. So now we came to the question whether Kuala Lumpur is a livable city. The urban issue relating to the KL is that the first one is the lack of livability and quality of streetscape. Then the lack of visible pocket and space for communal use. And third is the lack of imagery for people wayfinding. And what we propose is that the idea of the living boulevard, where the master plan will focus on three important action plan, which is the first one is the livable street, to cultivate the spirit of walking among the community. And then the second one is the community spine, where the idea is to promote the community engagement through the pocket space and such. And then the third one is the urban nodes, where the idea is to elevate the human-centered activity in the city. Now, when we talk about Kuala Lumpur, Greater Kuala Lumpur, what we can discover a lot of living cultural heritage. I mean, like we have a central market, Merdeka Square, Kat Tower, and etc. But there's something actually some more important thing that we need to address. So my proposal is located at the Jalan Sultan Hishamuddin near Kuala Lumpur, near the Thailand Merdeka. So what are the issue related to my site? So what's more, so as you can see from the side, those who don't know, this actually is the most prominent landmarks or most prominent area in KL, where the Dataran Merdeka used to be the first place where the Merdeka ceremony being held. The first one is the issue, the urban structure, where the segregation in urban planning lead to the inactive of use of riverfront. We can see from the picture, the use of riverfront is not currently being addressed as we compare to other cities, for example, the Korean, Australia, and other successful cities. So this is causing the urban decay or the demise of river. The second one is the social integration, where the lack of communal interaction due to the discontinuation of the pedestrian ramp and the absence of pocket space. As you can see from the picture, there's not many places that people can stop by and enjoy something in that area. So this lead to the discontinuation of people continuity to one places to another places. So what we did was actually we do the space intent analysis through a depth map program, where this software actually identify where the low and high connectivity road. As you can see, at my proposed site, the number of count of people connected to the site is quite low, 1.51. So, but however, there's a potential to actually increase the number, increase the count. The third issue is the cultural issue. So, in KL especially, the lack of socially cohesive public space is very prominent, where we can see that most places did not accommodate the diverse culture of musical performance as portrayed in the Malaysian identity. So this is some of the articles related to the dying musical tradition in Malaysia. So now we came to the question of how can we make Kuala Lumpur great again as how we great in the past. The first one is to determine the new architectural intersection that can help to actually enliven the city, the placemaking of a great Kuala Lumpur. So my proposal is to actually injecting the intangible cultural heritage to the urban fabric. So what is the intangible cultural heritage actually? The one keyword that we need to understand about the intangible cultural heritage is that it's an act or movement of people which can be seen, touched, and tasted. And cultural heritage also is like a form of expression which can be shown through the dance or through the action of the people. And one of the most prominent intangible cultural heritage in Malaysia is the performance art itself, because in Malaysia we have a diverse of races and diverse of people. So there's so many performance arts that we can see in Malaysia. So why we need actually the cultural heritage tourism, especially in Malaysia? So basically, in Malaysia, the theatrical performance, sounds, martial arts are part of a heritage that reflect Malaysian intangible culture. But however, this issue is not being addressed properly. So there's a need to actually elevate this idea of having a cultural heritage tourism so that people can come to our city. So this initiative is being supported by the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goal, and also our national framework from the legislative level up to the local authority level. But one of the most prominent initiatives by the KLCT and also by the collaborator is that the creation of a Kuala Lumpur Creative and Cultural District. So basically, the idea of this proposal is that to create a inclusive or creative places for the people, where these places can enhance their livability and also increase the visitor attraction. So this is my proposed site area. So my site is actually located in the historic core boundary or the civic precinct. So this is just some of the summary of the places. And then we also have the KL Heritage Cultural and Natural Trails. And also we have a river of flood project that support this idea of cultural heritage tourism through a riverfront activity. So now, if we look through the case study or to the several buildings that actually successful in utilizing the idea of cultural heritage tourism, is the first one is the Sydney Opera House. Basically, I think most of us know, I just want to give one word that actually changed our perspective to a building that changed the image of an entire country. I think as in Thailand or Malaysia, we have one building that actually can be talked about or can be promoted to other people. So Sydney Opera House is one of these. So Sydney Opera House is a multiple format venue that utilizes the riverfront as its activity. As you can see, it have a waterfront development and also the outdoor performance venue that actually include other than indoor performance space. The second one is the Kaohsiung Music Center in Taiwan. This is new typology or the new type of a performance space where the performance space is not only meant for performance but also for other activity. So in this development, they actually have several programs that actually interconnected with each other. For example, we have the performance space. Then we also the exhibition center and also supporting spaces such as commercial. Actually, this all this kind of program actually can help to elevate the performance itself. Now let's go to the site back. So what is missing actually in the site? As you can see from the site, we have the National Textile Museum, Music Museum, and we have several cultural related building in that place. But however, we still missing some more, which is as you can see in Kuala Lumpur, we have the Petronas Philharmonic Orchestra, Istana Budaya, and also KLPAC. So one major problem in this building and why it is dying actually is because as mentioned by Malashevsky, to survive in the competitive world and struggle with the economic crisis, organizers and performers could hardly depend on the conventional performance setting in this modern day. So now, how can we change the idea of being conventional to the context of the site? Now, let's talk about the lost identity of Alam Melayu or the Nusantara. So even though Malaysia is rich with tradition and diversity of its culture, however, the Nusantara value or Nusantara cultural identity is not valuable more to the people. As you can see, the way we dress up, the way we actually perform, the way we actually talk, actually changed because of the time. But now it's the best time to actually bring this back to help the young and also to actually give the opportunity to the old people to give the knowledge or what they know about the Nusantara or the old traditional heritage of Alam Melayu. So this is some of the Nusantara performance art and music. We have the Double Zeng, Kuda Kepang, Joget. Maybe it's very interesting if the people from Thailand can share if we share the same culture of performance later on. So this is just the summary of my research question, where it leads to actually to propose a multi-venue performance space that act as a cultural hub that celebrated Malaysia traditional music and performing arts through integration with the riverfront use and placemaking concept in urban fabric. So now this is a summary of my hypothesis, aim, and objective. The first objective is to identify the architectural design approach through placemaking concept that can amplify the function of Klang River as third place for the community. The second one is to inject public place concept to the cultural hub to encourage intergenerational participation and also enhance the role of cultural hub as a social node. The third one is to explore building programs that integrate Malaysia traditional music and also promote art with placemaking concept in creating a genius loci to the cultural hub. So when we talk about the cultural heritage tourism, it's very important to know what is the potential collaborators. So in this development, we actually focusing on the 5 collaborators. The first one is the Ministry of Tourism itself, the Cendana, Pusaka, Aswara, and TCT. But what I want to highlight is the Aswara. The Aswara is actually the institution of higher learning that actually giving the knowledge or giving the opportunity for people to enroll in their curriculum where they teach the cultural art of Malaysia especially, and also in the modern context. But however, people from Aswara or the student and even the teacher staff not given the opportunity to actually show what their potential is. So this is a summary of the topology framework, the target user, mission and vision, also the project outcome. So my body program, we're actually focusing on 4 programs. The first one is the performance venue itself. The second one is the urban park, where the idea of placemaking concept is to actually elevate the idea of the connectivity of people to the space itself. And then we also have the learning hub and also commercial to support the connectivity of the people, or how can people come to the site. So this is partial planning of the development, the space preparation. So my concept is the cultural indulgence, or basically the idea is reinvigorating the placemaking concept to the cultural experience. So how can we experience it? We will discuss later on. So now let's go back to the site. As you can see from the site, we have several cultural related buildings. The first one is the Music Museum. The second one is National Textile Museum, and also the KLCT Library. So you see, by proposing a cultural hub for the Alam Melayu, actually it helps the Music Museum or the National Textile Museum itself. Because you see, the Textile Museum will showcase all these kind of traditional clothes and traditional of Malaysian people. And the Music Museum actually will showcase the equipment and what kind of music that actually Malaysia has. And then to further support the theory of placemaking concept, it's very important to know where is the most high connected places in the site. So through the specific analysis, by using the visual graph analysis, we can see that the summary of the picture shows that the site actually have the potential where it is highly connected from the adjacent road and also to the Klang River itself. So the design approach to form exploration is by the first one, the building frontage. As you can see, the first thing to actually attract people to come to the site is to identify what is the best frontage of the site. The first one is the Klang River, and the second one is the road itself. The idea of the road is actually to become an event space or a promenade where people can use to come to the site, and it also can be called as an urban magnet. Then this is just a basic machine to actually exclude the floor area. And then to increase the connectivity of the people into the site, I actually apply the idea of fragmentation, or where the floor plate actually being fragmented through the puncturing the core of the machine, where the fragmented form allow more connectivity to the site. And then the last one is the permeability, where the building form is actually being reconfigured, where the dynamic of the building form is being articulated to allow more permeability to the site. Then this theory is also being approved through the space intent analysis, where the configuration, as you can see, the configuration E, you can see the red color indicate that it's when the building form is being designed like this, the people can come and go directly from the Jalan Sultan Hishamuddin and up to the Klang River. So this is a summary of the mini master plan or the building program in relation to the site. The first one is the commercial, located at the ground floor, first floor and second floor. The second one is the cultural hub, located at the third floor, fourth floor, learning hub, first, second floor, and then the public plaza located at the ground floor and first floor. We will be discussing on the phases later. So this is the area perspective of the site. As you can see, the site actually works in a way where it becomes an urban magnet. So what is the urban magnet actually? Urban magnet or a building becomes a prominent or becomes connected to the people when the building actually being connected to other building adjacent to it. So in this context, the building works where the Jalan Sultan Hishamuddin become event street. For example, during the Merdeka Parade, the road is actually being accommodated by the people for the event. So basically, this have the high potential of people coming to the site. And then we also have the River of Life project, or the for the Klang River, where the River of Life idea is actually to give or to design a riverfront area for people use. And then we also have the Prphatson, or the one of the most prominent landmark in Malaysia. The Prphatson actually showcase the craft and also the craft of Malaysia.
Haziq, 1 more minute, yeah?
Yeah, so since 1 more minute, I will just go through the site. So when you came, actually, you will be celebrated through a very big staircase to actually giving the reminiscence of the Rumah Melayu, the concept of tangga or the serambi. So the serambi actually being used as to sambut tamu or to. So this is the view towards the plaza, the staircase. So this is a view from the Klang River. View from the Klang River. Okay, now, okay, going up, we have the commercial on the right side and also learning hub on the left side. So basically, the idea of these places is to deliver to the people of the Aswara and the community, where the idea of a learning hub is giving the experiential learning program to the people, where people can actually enjoy working with each other and also enjoy the cultural experience through music, arts, and others. So there is a view towards the outdoor amphitheater. And then going up, we have the commercial learning hub. So you can see we have the music studio, fashion studio, production studio. So basically, these spaces can be enjoyed for the people. Then going up, we have the cultural hub. We have the exhibition space and also places related to the performance venue. And then I think to be further developed. Thank you for me.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Amirul Haziq, on your presentation about KL Symphony, which focusing on the making of Alam Melayu Cultural Hub. And now I would like to invite our third presenter, Mr. Ismail Wajdi Muhammad Rukibi. His project title is Lima Kedai Transit Housing, Social Housing for Transitory Residents that integrated communal spaces to improve social interaction among the community. So the room is yours, Mr. Ismail.
Okay,
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to everyone. So I just go direct to my project. So this is Lima Kedai Transit Housing, a social housing for transitory residents that integrate communal spaces to improve social interaction among the community. So what is social housing? Housing is provided for people on low incomes and or with particular needs by the government. So the idea behind the social housing is that it's more affordable than private renting, usually provides a more secure long-term tenancy. So social housing aims to be a solution to a specific problem, a problem that affects some specific group of people. So how should it work? It's affordable. So the only type of housing where rents are linked to local incomes. So this is the type of housing in Malaysia. We have Perumahan Rakyat Satu Malaysia, My First Home Scheme, and etc. So the next one is the Johor Housing Policy, which is actually at our sites. We have the maximum density is 120 density unit. So urbanization and affordable housing in Malaysia. Urbanization is a spatial and social process that refers to change in behavioral and social relationships. So urbanization in Johor Bahru, increase in rural-urban migration such as people from Segamat, Batu Pahat, Mersing to urban areas in Johor, such as Johor Bahru Skudai, or other states from Malaysia, such as Perak, Sabah, and Sarawak. So from the urban issue, it comes to the housing demand. So the housing demand, why is it become a housing demand? Because the interstate migration happens. So the three parts of interstate migration happen because of career, family, and environment, and economic value to the affordable housing, which is the needs of affordable housing in Malaysia, in Johor Bahru. So this is a migration in Johor Bahru, which is Johor is very increasing in 2020 of the migration happen in Johor Bahru. So lot of urban to urban and also rural to urban. So the target user for my project is B40 lower income groups, which is the household group of median income 1,900 to 4,000. So there are three types of user, which is bachelors, starter, and also the family, age range 18 to 30 years old. So the government have a scheme, which is the Youth Transit Housing Scheme. Is a scheme by a Ministry of Housing and Local Government, KPKT, aimed at both the single and married youth in the B40. So the potential client of my project is Kementerian Perumahan dan Kerajaan Tempatan, KPKT, and also the Majlis Bandaraya Iskandar Puteri. So transit housing in Malaysia, which is they have a very detailed characterized of transit housing and also the amenities for the transit housing. There are a few scheme of rent to own RTO, which is it becomes people can rent or own the house of the transit housing. So PPR in Malaysia, why? Because PPR Malaysia have a typical floor plan for PPR housing in Malaysia. So it very packed, and the layout also just one type of layout. So people cannot it cannot suit to the user, because when people want to migrate and then be alone, so they cannot they just need to find other people to rent in the house. So what is the growing issue of social housing in Malaysia? So the massive migrant, which is a social issue, is a massive migrant in urban area due to economic opportunities, which is the most reason why people from other states migrate to Johor Bahru is to work in Singapore. As a population, because of migration increase, then the social housing needed increase. So the next one is the individualistic culture among the inhabitants, which is those that stress the needs of individual over the needs of the group as a whole, and inactive social interaction among the resident, which is the lack of social interaction because of generation gap between youth and elder in the community. So the reason why it happened, the generation gap, because of effect of technology. So nowadays we have a gadget and also the computer games, and effect of cultural variable and lack of communication. So for the architectural issues, there are lack of multi-layout design in social housing for multi-user background, which is a typical floor plan in Malaysia cannot fit the bachelors or newlywed or starter pack, young couples or family with the same floor plan but the different needs. So the next one is the facilities provided and planning are not designed to cater the user's need. Based on my live case study in Johor Bahru, there are very doesn't have a proper refuse chamber cause smell pollutions, and then don't have a proper parking area. So the housing is only for the housing. There are no retails or no shops under the housing. So the lack of integration of community spaces in social housing for residents to do community activity, as I mentioned, because the pack are designed to cater more housing units. So this is my research question and also objective. So my objective is to identify the culture and behavioral of urban transitory resident in urban setting that integrates with social housing. Next one is to implement the comprehensive building programs that address cultural, community, and environmental aspects. To propose design solutions that connect people by integrating with community spaces to enhance human motivation and also social activity. So the hypothesis is if the sense of the community related to the living environment of the social housing, then the integration of community spaces in the social housing could enhance the social interaction. So my aim is to propose a new environment of transit housing that focus on communal, cultural, and environmental space for increasing populated of transitory residents to improve social interaction in developing areas. So this is my case study, which is Kampung Admiralty Singapore, architect WOHA architect. So this project integrates the communal garden, which is it improves physical and mental health and reduce anti-social behavior. So by providing access to fresh organic produce, opportunities for physical activity, contact with nature, and also neighborhood meeting place. So it integrates with the children's playground and also people's social space to enhance productivity. So there are two parts of the blocks, which is a resident plaza. A community space is somewhere for local people to gather and connect. And next is a residential block, connecting both green space and community space to create more social interaction among the residents. So this is the section of the case study. So the addition of the transit housing is a multi-layout design and also the communal spaces, integrate with the communal spaces. So this is my thesis approach. The design framework is intention for transit housing. And my beauty program is divided by 3, which is living, community engagement, and also community integration. So this is my target user and also client that I presented before. So for the user, I list out who is the single starter and family, local community. So there are lots of fresh graduate and also young couples, family that have baby or children and or grown children. So the building activities, I spread the building activities and also the primary spaces. And next, I develop a 3 program, which is a living, community engagement, and also integrations. So this is my site analysis, which is accessibility and context site in Gelang Patah, Skudai, Johor Bahru. So my site is actually at the main junction, which is the main road of the yellow lines is a very busy roads, and that is near to the Perumahan Rakyat 5 Kedai and also Taman Mutiara Rini Jaya in front of the site. And there are lots of luxury home, which is Rini Homes too. So the site analysis in the front of the site have many advantages as the main point of site approach is there and also have a good site connections. And next is the view of from the site mostly towards other resident, which is it's being surrounded by the resident area. So this is my site planning, which is the entrance for the sites proposed before the bus stop. Because in front of my site there are bus stop, permanent bus stop, existing bus stop, which is also the egress of the site was after the bus stop. So this is my design strategies, which is for the layout is adaptable living units for micro design for making, and also natural environment, which is the provided green elements at every communal area for the macro design, space and layout design. So the next one is the multi-layout design, which is provide 3 types of units and for micro design. Next one is the public-oriented spaces, which is the communal spaces that contains cafeteria, event space, and community spaces for macro design. And create outdoor spaces to have consider a deck with sitting at the balcony lah. So the people can have a fresh air outside the house. So next one is the efficient space and function for micro design layout unit. And next is the connect with the outdoor, which is people can easily see around the housing unit lah. So the housing unit is not too packed. So this is my ideation of bubble diagram, which is I divide by 3 parts, which is the community integrates, community engagement, and also integrate engagement. So for the first floor is a learning center at the middle of the part of the building. So this is a messing development, zoning the space into 2 parts for better circulation and easy for accessibility. So I divide by 2 parts, which is private and also public. So each space are related with the zoning and the communal square, act as intermediate space and meeting points. So green podium was added to divide the public and also the resident area and become community space for residents. So the extrusion of 3 blocks to have a various type of the housing units and create better escalation and view between the blocks. The cluster building blocks for a better connection internally and avoiding from the direct east and west sun. Courtyards at the center allow open air space. So the edible garden of every space allow the community to have a social spaces and place for them to relax outside the housing units. And the community space inject into every block for community activity and also enhance social interaction. So this is the design drawing, which is layout unit, ground floor, first floor level, and second floor level, and also the typical unit level. So actually, this is the layout of unit. I have three types of layout unit, which is type A is a single unit, 40 meter square, and also the type B is a couple unit, 60 meter square, and the type C is a family unit for a family that have that wants a bigger house, so they can tap the type C lah. So this is my ground floor, which is at the center of the ground floor is a focus of open plaza for community engagement, and also the left side of the ground floor is for the publics, and also the right side is focused on the private of the building. So this is the primarily design for the frontage of the draw-off area of my designs. This is the community spaces that I explained before. So people can have social interaction or social activity at the ground floor with the to meet their client or also their friends at the below of the resident area. So this is the first floor, which is I added the edible garden and also the community area activity area, which is can enhance social interaction and productive residence. So the edible garden can enhance a garden by providing a unique ornamental components with additional health, aesthetic, and also economic benefits. So this is the garden terrace for people of the for resident community, and this is the outdoor area of the resident activity. So for the second floor is the integration of community space and activity area that enhance user interaction and healthy lifestyle. So this is the outdoor area that I showed before, and added the edible garden. So people will feel that they are not in high-rise building because they still can do a farming or gardening at the edible garden punya space. So this is a communal bridge which is can connect all of the 3 blocks. So that they can go to the outdoor activity area and also the edible gardens. So the single unit type A focus on the young startup and fresh graduates, while type B is suitable for couples of small family. For the family unit, type C is designed for family that needs a bigger spaces and a bedroom. So for the cluster layout, plus void for cross ventilation and light well can enhance the thermal comfort of the user in the building. So this is the void for cross ventilation through the building, so that they still can have a natural ventilation, natural ventilated and also light well. This is the frontage of the buildings, block A, block B, and also block C. So the section schematic section diagram, which is the residential unit, they have a courtyard at the center of the building, and also the community engagement and integration happens above below of the resident area, so that they cannot access to the residential. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Ismail Wajdi, for your presentation on Lima Kedai Transit Housing. I think now I would like to open the session for question and answer with the panels from Walailak University. May I invite Associate Professor Dr. Kitchai for feedback or questions to the presenters?
I would like to go to the first presentation from Mr. Chow. It's very impressive one. So he showed a lot of diagrams doing the strategy of how to create the form and try to create the courtyard. That's very important feature in topical architecture. That's maybe we have forgotten for a long time. I just have some of the questions that I would like to ask Mr. Chow. That's because I think the sustainability that you provide, that's including the economic aspect, social aspect, and environmental aspect, and we can see very clearly about the environmental and social aspect. But in terms of economics, one, is it possible that because you provide a lot of open space, open courtyard, and circulation area, is it possible that you can you have some kind of a strategy that's to use this kind of passive area to become a co-working space as well. That maybe it can create a more value for the project, and in terms of not just only economically, in terms of saving energy, but it's also in the rented value of the built environment, right?
Understand.
I'm not very sure. That's maybe you can doing some kind like what is called is a mobile unit of
Mobile unit,
like
office.
mobile I just have doing some review about the workspace, and is saying that there will be just only a problem of the sound or noise in an open space office, and or the problem of the privacy. So this kind of thing maybe will be worth if you can explore more about this topic
Understand.
for the working space, which is also very nice already. That you create so many kind of green space within the buildings. Right.
Understand that.
Yeah. I also very interested in the irrigation system that you provide. It's very clever one. It's very clever for doing vertical farming in the city, and just only the diagram, but in the application maybe is if you can see this in the real application, maybe it will be worth to explore.
Yep, understand.
What else? Have you calculated the workspace of your interior space? That's I mean nowadays in some organization they need a kind of flexibility of the space in the working environment. And maybe they need a large amount of air area to adjust or change, or maybe experiment with their teamwork. Have you measured the size of your office? That's of the size of the workspace. Have you?
Yeah, because the building overall is basically on offices. So we have about 60% occupancy for offices, and others will be retails and also creative workspace. So because how we wanted to target the economical aspect is that the office will be the main center core. So at the same time, instead of just an office, which is quite boring, we integrate with the others activities, for example, creative, and all these retails will further on the ground floor will support all these like printing shops, computer shops, will support all these office worker. So it makes this building self-sustainable. You don't need to go outside to service or repair your computer. So it will be a self-sustainable building. Still focus much on these office spaces, but because all our projects are still under development, so I think I will take your comment very crucially to actually improve my office workspace to make it more practical and more sustainable in terms of working culture.
Right, because you know, sir, I have seen some of the real project in Bangkok that they provide this kind of open space to be like a jogging track, or maybe some kind of the retail go up into the second floor or third floor, and maybe more create more value of this kind of passive land area. Right. Anyway, it's very nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
very
that.
nice. Yeah. And I really understand that's why you separate this building because of simulation that you did before. Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Uh, okay, so for the second presentation from Mr. Amiro, may I have pronounced wrong?
Yes,
Mr.
correct.
Yeah, it's correct, right?
Yeah.
You have mentioned a, a very meaningful word. It's called as placemaking. I I I I really do that. The placemaking is related to the cultural and built environment, but uh, haven't seen yet about how can you doing some kind of a strategy that's to to change your building into a placemaking. Maybe this is some this can be a strategy of doing that every build area you can create some kind of the meaning into each section of your element of architecture. Like for example, that's you have mentioned about the riverfront area that's not connected to the city or to the building. I really want to see that because your size besides a river as well, and maybe you can uh, dig 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 out the land and to get the river into your size. I'm not very sure, or maybe you can doing some kind like the give meaning from the water into your building and to get involved the people around the building that's to celebrate this kind of the culture that's like in the past, right? This is just only some example and it's also the walkway that's you provide that's to into the pocket space. I think in the real behavior of human being, they didn't want to go into a quite large space if you have a few people, or maybe you can hierarchize the space that's maybe a small number or large number of people get involved into each activity. That's you can categorize the size of the space or the built environment. That's you can uh, you can adjust. It's not just only the zoning or the buildings floor that you provide, but I do think about the placemaking with the volume of the space that people to get involved. I'm not sure. Do you understand this? My my comment on this. But anyway, if you when you have mentioned about placemaking, this is I really think that is the right way. That's to involve into your uh, small and um, into a small space and to get what is called timidate in what's I'm not sure. It's called intimate. It's kind like an intimate space that people will get used to the environment that they can exchange uh, between each other. and maybe they can appreciate the very cultural event that you can provide. Because sometimes it's not very easy to get the people in the contemporary world into the traditional world. So at the moment, what is the media? What is the media? Maybe it's kind like one example that you have mentioned already is a built environment of the space, and the second one is the atmosphere that you really want to create into a placemaking. Maybe the third one is the interactive of among people to get involved, and how can they share their true feeling into the event that they involve. I think this it's not an easy one, and it's not just only the provide a space, and you can imagine that it will get a successful result after you just have a space or an architecture, right? What do maybe you can talk more about what kind of pacemaking that you really get involved into the chaos symphony that you propose, Mr. Milo? Can you give some advice for me? That's what is your thing about as you try to strategize into the space that you create.
Actually, I'm very interested to what you mentioned before. To be honest, my side is very near to the riverfront, but actually, I really like your idea of bringing the river to the site. So basically, I agree also the place making concept of making the place livable to the people is that very important for us to actually design a prominent maybe something like urban node, something like that, to actually giving more opportunity for the people to came in, because I agree also with what you mentioned about it's not easy to bring the contemporary people to the traditional setting, but I think I will look into that.
Anyway, so I found that it's not an easy one that's to get the contemporary people to interested in the cultures. Maybe maybe it needs some kind of new media or interactive media that's to propose into this one. I'm not very sure, but very
I need to
very difficult. Right. I'm not very sure that's have you seen some kind of interactive architecture that's or maybe interactive performance? They try to merge the traditional subject into a new media, and to get the nowadays young generation to get involved. Maybe this kind of media can be one of your element of your architecture. Maybe some kind like a wall or the floor that's get really exciting.
The facade, the facade. Actually, I'm working on the facade. I'm working on the facade.
Some kind like
something
a
like interactive facade.
rhythm, or maybe the tempo of the dance, of the performance, or and it's changed into interactive device or something. I'm not very sure, but nowadays I found that this really interesting to be in an architecture. Yeah, maybe you can try to see just only create the space is not enough. I I really do that. Okay, for the third one,
Thank
Mr.
you, Mr. Kitchai.
Ismail. Oh yeah, yeah, you were welcome. It's for the Ismail. I really would like to understand what is your meaning of a transit housing. Can you explain again, please?
Actually, the transit housing is for people that rent for 1 to 3 years, and then they need to find another house lah. So for the startup business lah, actually for the young peoples which migrates to the Johor Bahru, and then they needs a place for them to rent a house. But then housing in Malaysia
See.
likely very expensive. So the social housing is targeted for the B41. Which is the lower income groups for the young people and also the couples and family.
All right, I see. So the transit housing maybe is have so many problem about because the lack of light to own the property, right? Yeah, I think this is very crucial issue of the of the development of the residential. I found that so many community, if they have no light into the land they living, there will no sense of place, and they just think that we just it's just only a temporary time that's to stay here, and after that they will live with not very impressive living.
But then government also provides which is they can rent to own. There are 3 years contracts, but then they can
Right.
continue to stay there. So it still have a permanent residence.
Oh, I see. It's possible. It's
Yeah.
possible to change the status.
Yeah.
I see. Um, in terms of housing design is I think nowadays you have seen we have we have we have passed through a lot of problem of housing designs from the history of modern architecture. That's we
Yeah.
since we start have a housing design, we get into a bomb of of a building. We get into the criminal, a lot of criminal. We got the luxurious one, or maybe it's a very fancy one. So we found so many solution on housing design. But from your perspective in this project, you try to create the community just only on the ground floor, right?
Yeah, actually, the residential integrates with the community engagement, lah, which is because the issues in Malaysia, the housing itself, it doesn't have people for gather and doesn't have a community space for people to meet, and also there are very packed design, and the parking also not enough for the residential actually.
Yeah. I really do. It's actually when we talk about the housing designs, it remind me to the Herzberger's lesson for architectural students. As how can you create that the community sense for everyone of your project, that they will appreciate in a livable, and they would like to share their strength. They would like to share their activity, and they let their children play on the ground. If you can create this kind of sense of place, that will be very successful project. That I really believe. I do believe that on the ground floor of your proposal should have some kind like a time and space functionality that's that can activate for the less dense, right? Yeah. Just want to see is to develop a lot more, right?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyways, very impressed for three of the presentation that have a very good questions of the design.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Kitchai, for your feedback and questions. Can we have Madam Sasipim for feedback to our presenters?
Okay, the first one, Mr. Chow, is about defining creative co-working space. So I have interesting in when you create courtyard or the void or the vertical green continuous. It is a very interesting concept, but I want to learn more about biomimic approach that you use in the integrate, but like indoor area, especially permanent office or creative space or co-working space, or how you creative connecting linkage on the courtyard and the indoor area. So the activity of a courtyard and indoor area, I don't see much the connecting about this area or activity. Yeah.
Yeah, basically on the internal courtyard itself, we actually have exhibition spaces. Exhibition spaces that are actually hybrid as well, double volume height. So these spaces can extend their exhibitions on the very ground floor of this courtyard itself. So this give connecting activities within these two courtyard. And then on this biomimicry approach, is more on stack ventilation. And how this stack ventilation works is actually biomimicry of this termite mound, where they build their termite itself. There's a lot of openings, so they did investigate how this termite structure itself able to cool down by itself. So this is just an approach and also an analogies where I put into my building to have multiple courtyards and opening to actually remove all this hot air by itself without any mechanical aid of it. And yeah, I think the spaces, most of the spaces that are not all related have a very great integration with the courtyard. I think I did agree with that, because at the moment the spaces area has been set. It's just that how we wanted to create that interrelated activities within it. That would be a thing for me to actually look into. Yeah.
Thank you for your answer. So it's quite good to hear. So the second
you so
one
much.
is Mr. Amil. I'm interested in the intangible cultural heritage that you speak and about the performing art that you will exhibit in this place. And I want to learn more about the area that you provide, especially for the each dance performance for that is the intangible heritage that you want to present, that each performance has there one especially space or special space for their performance or something like that? Because in the slide you list dance performance, many dance performance, and I want to know in each dance performance has their one criteria for space to performance something. Like in the Thailand, there is the performance called Nang Talung. We use the shadow to tell the story, and this performance they need to hang a frame for we can play with the shadow or something, or or some performance in Thailand there has the belief when they performance don't they mustn't face on the south, like something like that. So I want to know the special criteria for dance performance that you provide to each performance.
Okay, to answer that question, okay, so usually for the Nusantara type of performance, so actually we have I would say three different type of performance. The first one is music. So I think basically we share almost the same type of instrument. We have gambos, something like the guitar. Then we have the chak lempong, something that we play. I mean, like most of the activity is static. Then we also have the second one, which is more dynamic kind of a performance. We have the Ulit Mayang, we have the DK Barat, and then some of these require movement, but it's not actually require extensive height requirement. For example, for the Chinese, we have the Chinese lion dance. Lion dance actually we need to jump and such, but for Malay actually the most of the performance is being performed on the floor. And then we have the most dynamic one, but this one actually being accommodated at the ground floor area at the public plaza. We have the silat or also our martial arts. I think we also I don't know Thailand or Muay Thai, right? Muay Thai usually you have this kind of a ring, but for silat actually we can use almost like everywhere. You can use your corridor, you can use your, but it's more likely to be a more open space because it require jumping and such. And then the last one is the wayang kulit, or I would say the shadow puppet. The shadow puppet is being accommodated through the black box space where the setting will be dark kind of thing, and then to actually being more contemporary and not being conventional, actually I have a more interactive performance such as the multimedia gallery and other interactive spaces to showcase the traditional cultural heritage of Nusantara. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's a really clear answer. So we move to the third person. I'm interested when you want to create a social space for the community. So I want to know about the activity that you provide in the outdoor activity area. What activity that we do in this area?
Actually, there are several activities for the community, which is it have a co-working spaces for community doing their jobs outside of the house, and also the leisure activities, which is they can have a sitting area, a leisure sitting area, and also the outdoor gym, outdoor and indoor gym, so that it can create a healthy lifestyle of the residents. The next one is next one is the play area for the childrens, so that the corridor is expand a little bit more size of the corridor, so that people don't have the children just can play in the house or outside of the corridor. So the garden and also the entrepreneurship, which is the retail area for the people that B40 can going to improve themselves, so that they can use the retail areas to sell anything, so like macam kiosk or everything. So the next is the garden, so people can have to do a farming, like landed housing, so it still can do in a high rise building, but then it become a community center of the place lah. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all it about comment for me. So thank you. You all has worked very impressive. So thank you.
Thank you, Madam Sensipim. May I invite Madam Ajarn Prphatson for feedbacks?
Okay. The first of related you did a great job. You analyze every factor to design your project, and you that make a project successful. The first, Mr. Chow, it is interesting for me about biomimicry architecture. This is information sharing, inspired by Hermit Mouse, yeah, right? The architect might here design estate, large commercial building in Zimbabwe, light amount using the thermal mass to store the heat during a day and release it during a night. So the building also the many chimneys and air channel around the building to breathe. And the project, then your project is like this.
Yeah.
Okay. I like their work that have a simulate attached to analyze the project. What is the program that you use in this project?
You mean what kind of software I'm using?
Yes, software.
Basically, we started from SketchUp when we explore all this messing. But when we have this kind of a solid messing of these buildings, and we transfer to Revit to see the proportions, to see how it works. Because when we have Revit, it's more easy for us to actually put into another software, which is CFD, to test the simulations, to see whether what we thought is working, is it really working based on statistic. So I think this flow is more solid in actually so-called proof all this statement through software. Yeah, I think this is the flow. I think it's quite interesting to actually look into this Zimbabwe building, Harare. And I think that's one of my precedent study. And I did get a lot of input and also learning from this building itself. Yeah.
I think if we show natural ventilation in all buildings in the presentation, that can explain more clearly concept as you tell me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
The second, Mr. Amiro, right?
Yes.
The project was the hub that linked the spread in the city. So what do you believe the project? What is the limitation? Did you develop the project?
Okay, to be honest, when I exploring when I want to get to know the cultural heritage of especially the Nusantara, actually Nusantara can be called not only for Malay actually, because Nusantara can be called as Indonesia and some other Polynesian country, even some for Thailand. So that's why I'm focusing on Alam Melayu or the Malay itself, so that when, especially for you, if you come to Kuala Lumpur, for example, then it's very good opportunity for you to come to my site to actually explore it. So in terms of limitation, actually is very actually quite complicated for me to focus on this certain performance. Yeah, because performance space usually take up very big spaces. So if you do a small theater, then people will not actually quite attracted to it. So if you do a big one, then it might be too big for people. For example, like Istana Budaya, it become too grand. So yeah, that's what limitation and some of the hardship that I found when I'm exploring the design.
Thank you. The third, Mr. Ismail, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the project, recently we are going to the age society. Many countries have to try to push the aging friendly city for everyone. The housing of the them. And with test don't include only the resident but the lighter home for the user and safety. I'm, I am interested in the elderly. There are many case studies for our journal that integrate technology and that can reduce the accident of the elderly. Robots access to the wall, the floor. My question, what is the efficiency supporting environment that can help user in housing?
What? Can you repeat?
What is the efficiency support environment that can
This is
help the
building
user in
efficiency or what? Building efficiency.
Yeah.
Actually, the total of the resident area is 65%, and the building efficiency for my building is 79%. So the above of the which is the NFA and GFA also comply the requirements lah.
Thank you. Your project can answer the sustainable development goal in 2030, right?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Madam Ajarn Prphatson, for your feedback, and thank you again to all presenters from UTM too. Okay. It seems like we are nearly at the end of this very interesting event, unfortunately. But before we end the session, I would like to ask all the attendees to switch on your cameras so that we can take screenshot photo of our event today to commemorate this International Design Colloquium 2022 between Architecture Program UTM and also School of Architecture and Design Walailak, Universiti Thailand. Okay, smile everyone. 1, 2, 3. Another one. 1, 2, 3. Right. Okay, thank you. So to those who have yet to fill in the attendance link in the chat box, please fill it in so that we can send you the e-certificate later. With that, we have come to the end of the session. Again, on behalf of the organizer, Program of Architecture, UTM, I would like to thank all our panels for your interesting and insightful feedbacks, and to all our presenters for your exciting presentations, as well as the audiences. It was a pleasure to have you all with us today. We look forward to seeing you again in the future, probably in Thailand or Malaysia. And have a good day ahead, and goodbye for now. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. Kitchai. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Also to Madam Prphatson.
Thank
and
you
also
all.
your
Thank you.
team. Sawadee-krap.
สวัสดีครับ May I say just
Sawadee-krap.
only a little word, sir.
Yes.
We will going to sign MOU very near, sir. We have sent to the presidents of Walailak University already, and
Okay.
we will have an appointment date for online signing, right? Right.
Yes.
I will write you an email, Dr. Liz.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much. Because on our side also we have sent the MOU to our board of the LPU members.
Right. Yep.
So they are in the process of getting it approved. So once if it's approved, then maybe we can do the signing with you also. Because the MOU is using the UTM format. So we need to get the clearance from UTM side. Yeah. So
Yes,
if you get
exactly.
the format from Walailak University, then I think you can give the green light to sign also very
Mm.
quickly.
Mm.
Okay, so I will give you updates on that, Prof. Kitchai, because all of the paperwork we have sent it up to the university,
Right.
board of university. Yes. So I'm targeting perhaps sometime in August, the latest, or the earliest will be in July soon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So we will see
Okay.
very soon. Bye bye.
Yes, yes. Okay, bye-bye. Take care, Prof. Kitchai.
Take care, everyone.
And also to Madam Prphatson and to Madam Sasipim. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a nice
Bye-bye.
day. Sawadikap.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care yourself.
Mm.
Okay, take care also.
ครับคุณครับ
ครับ